Hi, beautiful. Welcome to A Course in Miracles. We're reading in the text, chapter 22, Salvation and the Holy Relationship. We will read a couple paragraphs from the introduction. Take pity on yourself, so long enslaved. Rejoice whom God hath joined, have come together, and need no longer look on sin apart. No two can look on sin together, for they could never see it in the same place and time. I'll pause here and say, because it's so subjective. Sin is a strictly individual perception, seen in the other, yet believed by each to be within himself. And each one seems to make a different error, and one the other cannot understand. Brother, it is the same, made by the same, and forgiven for its maker in the same way. The holiness of your relationship forgives you and your brother, undoing the effects of what you both believed and saw. And with their going is the need for sin gone with them. Who has need for sin? Only the lonely and alone, who see their brothers different from themselves. It is this difference, seen but not real, that makes the need for sin, not real but seen, seem justified. And all this would be real if sin were so, for an unholy relationship is based on differences, where each one thinks the other has what he has not. I'll pause here and say comparison. The ego thrives with comparison, with better than, worse than, too much, not enough. The ego doesn't understand equanimity. In fact, if it did, that would be its undoing. They come together, each to complete himself and rob the other. They stay until they think that there is nothing left to steal, and then move on. And so they wander through a world of strangers unlike themselves, living with their bodies perhaps under a common roof that shelters neither, in the same room, and yet a world apart. Wow. Let's stop here and talk about this a little bit. That is the thought system of the world. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. If you stop adding value, then you're dead to me. And I'm not saying that there isn't some value in reciprocity. Reciprocity for a human relationship is pretty important. And let's see what A Course in Miracles says about a holy relationship. A holy relationship starts from a different premise. Each one has looked within and seen no lack. Accepting his completion, he would extend it by joining with another, whole as himself. He sees no difference between these selves, for differences are only of the body. Therefore, he looks on nothing he would take. He denies not his own reality, because it is the truth. Just under heaven does he stand, but close enough not to return to earth. For this relationship has heaven's holiness. How far from home can a relationship so like to heaven be? Think what a holy relationship can teach. Here is belief in differences undone. Here is the faith in differences shifted to sameness. And here is sight of differences transformed to vision. Reason can now lead you and your brother to the logical conclusion of your union. It must extend as you extended when you and he joined. It must reach out beyond itself, as you reached out beyond the body to let you and your brother be joined. And now the sameness that you saw extends and finally removes all sense of differences, so that the sameness that lies beneath them all becomes apparent. Here is the golden circle where you recognize the Son of God. For what is born into holy relationship can never end. I'll pause here and let's sit with this for a moment. Some of the teachings in A Course in Miracles seem really esoteric and even contradictory to our human understanding. I'll speak for myself and just share that it is confusing to me sometimes to hear the words that we're all the same. And my understanding of this is that at our core, we are all love. We are all emanations of God. And in that sense, we are the same. And we are beautiful and unique. Each a line in a beautiful poem, where the poem doesn't make sense without each line in the poem. And you are a unique line in the poem. And I'm a unique line in that poem. And together we complete the poem. And in the sense that we are the same, that we are all an emanation of God. We are all one line in the beautiful poetry of life. And together we are perfect, whole, and complete. And separate, we're meaningless. Because if you just pull out one line from that poem and say, this is holiness, it's incomprehensible. And we're not here to compete, we're here to complete. What is born into a holy relationship can never end. It's beyond limitation, it's beyond the ego. It's beyond body identification. And when we've reached that understanding, we still get to be in the body, in the world, but not of the world. We still get to be here having this fun experience, and what was once a prison becomes a playground because we're not so attached to it. And we're not living in a fear paradigm where we're so afraid that something's going to go wrong, and we're not trying to fix, force, change, or correct. We're accepting what is and loving what is. And loving what is the portal into anything that your heart could desire. When we love what is, it's such an expansive state that we experience instant manifestation. It can feel like a paradox though, because to the ego, we have to want, we have to grasp, we have to fight for things. And in A Course in Miracles, we're taught that God doesn't withhold anything. We can only withhold things from ourselves because of lack of worthiness, feelings, thoughts, lies that we've told ourselves, lies that we've believed that others have told us, that we're unworthy or sinful or incomplete. Those are lies. You are perfect, whole, and complete, and you lack no thing. And you can't have needs because they're already met before you can even ask for them. When you are in your right mind and not lost in ego, when we are host to God, everything is self-effulgent. You're self-effulgent. Your needs are met. When we're hostage to ego, it's like living like a rat, running from dumpster to dumpster, looking for scraps, being chased by cats. That is the paradigm the ego lives in. I don't recommend it. I did spend most of my life there, and I don't recommend it. I'm so glad you're here. If there's any principle in A Course in Miracles that seems nonsensical or doesn't make sense, I invite you to sit with it in stillness and invite the Holy Spirit to illuminate your mind. Because we're taught again and again, and I've experienced this is true, the only thing we need is a genuine and true willingness to understand, and it will be brought to you. It may not be that exact moment, although it may be. It might be brought to you through an experience you have later in the day, where you witness something and go, oh, I get it. I get it now. When we have a desire to understand, God will not withhold that understanding. That is the truth. So be patient, be open-hearted and open-minded, be willing to know the truth, and the truth will be delivered to you in one form or another, perfectly catered and customized, your own personalized curriculum, your own custom course. A Course in Miracles is practical reason that applies to everyone, and Spirit will also adapt the curriculum to your individual life and circumstances so that it makes sense to you. That's been my experience. Thank you so much for being here. I love you, and I'll see you soon.